An innovator and revolutionary of saxophone playing, Melissa Aldana is a tenor saxophonist known for her arpeggios and legato blend. Her mastery over sequential thirds and fourths gives her sound a unique taste found nowhere else. She was the first woman ever to win the Thelonious Monk International Jazz Saxophone Competition. She has released 4 albums to date, each representing a deep-founded passion in self-exploration, identity, culture, and art. Bebop meets cool jazz, meets classical, meets contemporary, with her sweet, soulful sound and creative use of extended technique. She is also a master of the altissimo register. Her movement across the ranges of the saxophone is only matched by legendary players like Lenny Pickett. Welcome back to this week's edition of Jazzversity, the jazz podcast by me, Adam Hanna. This week we are looking into the diverse elements of Melissa Aldana's identity and how those have played a part in her contributions to the musical world. This piece is Obstacles from her 2016 album Back Home. I do not believe it's any coincidence that through the journey of this album from Alegria to Back Home, we find difficulties along the way. Obstacles, time, a longing for somewhere else, and otro lugar, and Desde la lluvia, from the rain. I also do not believe it is a coincidence that Desde la lluvia is preceded by My Ship on the album. A biblical reference? Her way of saying, the rain has flooded my world, but I have crafted a ship to withstand the storms, and I will sail for new land, discover, and create new. Melissa Aldana has been known for resisting comments about the way her ethnicity contributed to her achievements. In a recent interview, she was asked about the way her background has influenced her artistry. In response, Melissa stated, "I think being from Chile just makes me who I am. I don't take much influence from Chile in terms of my music. It's part of who I am and my experiences, which makes me different than other people on a personal level," end quote. I find this interesting because, for me, I find these unique differences on the personal level to be interwoven in her style, creative process, and musical contributions. In her album Back Home, 3 out of the 9 pieces have Spanish thematic elements. 2 out of 3 is damn close to the golden ratio, but we won't get into that right now. That being said, from her prior, most recent album, Visions, she constructs an 11-song story based on Frida Kahlo's personal story of difficulty to artistic mastery. Are you telling me Melissa Aldana composed the entirety of this album without connecting and expressing her own Latin American roots? Or connecting with Frida Kahlo's struggles in a world that cannot see past her different and unique appearance? Melissa is communicating something about herself through her music exploration of Frida Kahlo's dark past. I would argue that Melissa's front against the ethnicity influences is her attempt at keeping attention to the music rather than her identity. I strongly believe that Melissa Aldana is a proponent of music separated from the composer, in the sense that to her, the way her music connects with people matters more than the color of her skin, the country she was born, and her personal beliefs. She urges her audiences to look past that. However, there is no denying that the diverse elements of her identity are prevalent in her contributions thus far. How can I listen to Visions without feeling the ideas and difficulties of both Melissa Aldana and Frida Kahlo conveyed through the music? How can I listen to Crash Trio and Back Home without feeling a pure blend of Sonny Rollins, Mark Turner, and something else? What is this something else? I think that it shows in her song Alegria, which means joy, but carries on an extra ounce of weight in Latin American culture. This is anything else than straightforward Sonny Rollins, Charlie Parker, and Mark Turner. Is she having an identity crisis? We hear bebop, cool jazz elements, a lot of Mark Turner. But even more so, we hear who can only be Melissa Aldana. This tasteful difference is notably influenced by her exploration of identity. In many interviews, it seems Melissa Aldana is constantly on the search for herself. In an interview between WC Music and Melissa Aldana, she states, "You grow as you get older because, first of all, you keep practicing, but I also feel like the experiences, especially the hard experiences, shape you as a person, and that level of maturity is connected to the music." She continues to say, "You learn more about yourself and understand more about yourself, and they are both connected. So I think I'm a better version of myself right now, which is something I am trying to do every day." End quote. As Melissa Aldana gets closer to finding her own identity, balanced between the cultural melting pot of America and her roots in Chilean culture, we will hear these changes reflected in her music. One last thing that is worth talking about in relation to identity and diversity is Melissa Aldana's achievement as the first woman and South American saxophonist in history to win the Thelonious Monk International Jazz Saxophone Competition. And this is huge. To win this competition is a testament to harmonic and melodic ingenuity and an unreal mastery of sound and color. I would argue that her ability to overcome adversity as a woman jazz saxophonist at Berklee College of Music helped mold her confidence and drive in claiming this achievement. Through one interview with Melissa Aldana by WV Music, Melissa states, "Well, the state of music has always been the same, just different context and different people. The one thing that I am happy about is there is more acknowledgement of female musicians, and I think that it is important for the next generation because there needs to be strong role models, which is something I understand now because I didn't grow up with it. So, gender and race equality, sort of the basis on things that are happening throughout our society." End quote. Melissa Aldana's triumph in achieving Grammy-nominated performances, multiple record deals with Blue Note Records, and winning the Thelonious Monk International Jazz Saxophone Competition were not just influenced by her own struggles and experiences with underrepresentation in the music industry, but also a goal to create a world where the next Melissa Aldanas will have strong role models to show that the dream is possible. Her diversity and exploration of identity is amplified through her works, in part because of the intimacy of her albums, always solo or small combo group, and because of her pure individuality in the art form. She is a beacon of hope and power for underrepresented artists everywhere, and her hard work is an inspiration to all musicians. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you next week on Jazzversity, the Jazz Podcast, by me, Adam Hanna.